What if your body has already been giving you warning signs, and you've been overlooking them every single day? Not because you don't care, not because you're not paying attention, but because no one ever told you what those signs actually mean. Most people believe that serious conditions only show up after a diagnosis, after a test, after a doctor visit, after something feels clearly wrong, but the reality is very different. Your body almost always starts communicating long before that, quietly, subtly, in ways that are easy to ignore. And one of the first places those signals appear is somewhere most people rarely pay close attention to: your feet. Think about it for a moment. How often do you actually stop and look at your feet? Not just quickly, but carefully, noticing small changes, sensations, differences from what used to feel normal. For most people, the answer is almost never. And that's exactly why these signs go unnoticed. Because what may seem small can actually be your body trying to tell you something important. Something that, if caught early, can be managed, controlled, even improved. But if ignored, those same signals can quietly develop into something much more serious over time. In this video, I'm going to walk you through several warning signs that many people dismiss as just aging, but that may actually be your body asking for attention. For each one, you'll understand what most people assume it is, what may actually be happening inside the body, and one simple habit that can help support your health moving forward. Before we begin, I want you to do something simple. Just take a moment. Think about your own body. Have you noticed anything recently that felt different? Something small, something easy to ignore, because those are often the signals that matter most. Let's start with the first sign, and this is one almost everyone has experienced at some point, but very few people take seriously. A tingling or numb feeling in the feet, that pins and needles sensation. Most people explain it the same way. I must have been sitting too long. My foot just fell asleep. And sometimes, that's true. But here's the important question. Is it happening occasionally, or is it happening more often than it used to? Because when that sensation begins to show up regularly, without a clear reason, it may be more than just pressure on a nerve. Inside your body, communication happens through tiny signals, messages traveling from your brain to your body, and back again. And those signals depend on healthy pathways. When those pathways become less efficient, the signals don't travel as clearly. They become distorted. And what you feel is that tingling sensation. At first, it's subtle, easy to ignore, but over time, it may become more frequent, more noticeable. This is why paying attention early matters, because once you notice patterns, you can respond to them. A simple habit that can help support your body here is regular, gentle movement. Not intense exercise, just consistent motion. A daily walk, even 20 minutes. Because movement helps support circulation and keeps your system active and responsive. Now let's move to the second sign, and this one often appears at night, when everything is quiet. A burning sensation in the feet. People describe it in different ways. Warmth, heat, sometimes even discomfort that makes it hard to relax. During the day, it may not be as noticeable, but at night, when there are fewer distractions, it becomes more apparent. This is often misunderstood, because nothing external is causing it. It's not the temperature of the room, it's not what you're touching. It's a signal coming from within. Think of it like a system sending messages that don't quite match reality, a kind of miscommunication. And when that happens, your body is asking for attention. Not panic, but attention. One simple habit that may help support your system here is staying properly hydrated throughout the day, not just in the evening. Because hydration supports multiple processes in the body, including circulation and overall balance. Now, what we're going to talk about next is where things begin to shift, from something you feel to something you can actually see, and this is where many people miss the most important signs. Now, let's move to something you can actually see, because this is where many people overlook the most important signals. Small wounds that take longer than expected to heal. At first, it seems insignificant, a small cut, a blister, maybe something from a pair of shoes. Most people don't think twice about it. They assume it will go away on its own, and often it does. But when it doesn't, that's when it becomes important. If you've ever noticed that something minor takes longer than usual to heal, that's not something to ignore. Your body has a natural ability to repair itself, but that process depends on something very specific: efficient circulation. When that process slows down, healing slows down with it. Think of it this way: your body is constantly delivering what it needs to repair itself: nutrients, oxygen, support. But if that delivery system becomes less efficient, those resources don't arrive as quickly. And what you see on the outside is a wound that lingers longer than it should. This is one of the most important signals to pay attention to, because it's visible, it's clear, and it gives you a chance to act early. Here's a simple habit that can make a difference. Take a moment each day to check your feet. After a shower, or before bed, just 30 seconds. Look carefully, between the toes, around the heel, across the sole. Because the earlier you notice something, the easier it is to respond. Now let me tell you something that might feel familiar. A man in his late 60s once mentioned that he had a small irritation on his foot. Nothing serious. He thought it was just from walking, so he ignored it. Weeks passed. It didn't go away. It didn't get worse quickly either, just stayed there. And that's exactly what made it easy to ignore. When he finally paid attention to it, he realized it had been there much longer than he thought. Nothing dramatic happened overnight, but that slow delay was the signal. And once he started taking small steps to support his body, things began to improve. This is why awareness matters. Not fear, not overreaction, just awareness. Now let's move to another sign, and this one is even easier to miss, because most people assume it's completely normal. Changes in skin color around the feet or ankles. Some people notice slight darkening, others notice redness, sometimes even a faint bluish tone. And the most common reaction is, it's just part of getting older. But here's the thing: your skin often reflects what's happening beneath the surface. When circulation changes, your skin can show it. Because your feet are the farthest point from your heart, they rely heavily on consistent flow. And when that flow becomes less efficient, your body adapts, and those adaptations can become visible. This doesn't mean something is wrong, but it does mean something is changing. And noticing those changes early gives you the opportunity to respond. A simple habit here: gentle daily movement for your lower legs. Even a few minutes, ankle rotations, light stretching, raising your heels slowly. These small movements help support circulation and keep your body engaged. Now, what we're about to talk about next is something many people have dealt with for years, without ever connecting it to their overall health. And this is where things get even more interesting. Now let's talk about something many people deal with for years and never question: dry, cracked skin on the heels. Most people say the same thing: it's just dry skin, it happens every year, I just need a better cream. And sometimes that's true, but not always. Because your skin is not just something on the surface, it's part of a system, and when that system changes, your skin reflects it. If you've noticed that your heels stay dry no matter what you use, or that cracks keep coming back, that's worth paying attention to. Because your body naturally maintains moisture, it regulates it, balances it. And when that balance shifts, the skin begins to lose that natural protection. Think of it like this: your skin is meant to stay flexible, resilient, protected. But when that internal support weakens, it becomes dry from the inside out. And what you see on the outside is cracking. Not just a cosmetic issue, but a signal. A simple habit that can help here: consistent hydration. Not just applying something externally, but supporting your body from within. And also, taking a moment each evening to care for your feet intentionally. Not quickly, not automatically, but with attention. Because when you begin to notice small details, you begin to understand your body better. Now, let me ask you something directly. Have you noticed any of these signs, even one? If the answer is yes, just take a mental note of it, because awareness is where change begins. Now, let's move to something more serious. Something that many people don't connect at first, but becomes very noticeable over time. Swelling in the feet or ankles. At the end of the day, some swelling can be normal, especially after long periods of standing or sitting. But if it becomes consistent, if it happens regularly, that's different. You might notice marks from socks, indentations that stay for a few seconds, a feeling of heaviness. These are signals, not random changes. Your body constantly manages fluid balance. It moves, adjusts, redistributes. But when that system becomes less efficient, fluid begins to collect. And gravity brings it downward, to your feet. Again, this is not something to panic about, but it is something to notice. A simple habit here: when resting, elevate your feet slightly. Even a small lift can help your body rebalance more effectively. And reducing excess salt in your diet can also make a meaningful difference over time. Now we're moving into something that surprises many people, because it doesn't feel like a signal. It feels like something completely different. Pain. Not from injury, not from activity, but pain that seems to come without a clear reason. Some people describe it as sharp, others as sudden, sometimes even like a quick electric sensation. And the first thought is usually, it must be something I did. But what if it isn't? What if it's not coming from the outside, but from within? This kind of discomfort can be your body's way of communicating imbalance. And the reason it often appears at night is because everything else is quiet. There are no distractions, no movement. Just awareness. A helpful habit here: gentle movement before you start your day. Even a few minutes, moving your feet, rotating your ankles, stretching lightly. This helps your body transition into movement instead of going from stillness to pressure instantly. Now, what we're about to talk about next is one of the clearest signs your body gives you, and once you notice it, you won't be able to ignore it again. Now let's talk about something that many people notice, but almost no one questions. Cold feet. Not just occasionally, not just in winter, but consistently, even when the rest of your body feels warm. Some people say, "I've always had cold feet," and for a long time, that may feel normal. But here's the important distinction. Are your feet cold because of the environment, or are they cold regardless of it? Because when that sensation stays the same, no matter the temperature around you, it may be a sign your body is not delivering warmth efficiently. Your body relies on movement and flow to maintain balance, and when that flow becomes less efficient, the farthest points feel it first. And your feet are the farthest point. A simple habit here: consistent daily walking. Not fast, not intense, just steady, even 20 to 30 minutes. Because movement encourages circulation and helps your body maintain that natural balance. Now let's move to expected with music. Final sign, and this is one that almost nobody notices until someone points it out. Changes in hair on your lower legs or feet. Most people never think about it because it happens slowly, gradually. You don't wake up one day and notice it. It's something that changes over time. And that's exactly why it's so easy to miss. Your body supports growth continuously, hair is part of that. And when that support changes, growth changes too. This is not something most people check, but once you notice it, it becomes very clear. Now let's pause for a moment. We've gone through several signs, some you feel, some you see, some you may have already experienced. And here's what matters most. None of these signals are random, they are patterns. And your body uses patterns to communicate. The question is not whether your body is speaking, it is. The real question is, are you noticing? Because once you begin to notice, you can begin to respond. Not with fear, not with panic, but with simple, consistent actions. Let's bring everything together. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need a complex plan. You just need awareness and small daily habits. Checking your feet regularly, staying hydrated, moving your body consistently, paying attention to small changes. These are simple, but over time, they become powerful. Now I want to ask you something, not as a test, just as a moment of reflection. Have you noticed any of these signs in yourself? Even one? If the answer is yes, don't ignore it. Take it as information, as feedback from your body. And give yourself the chance to respond early. Because early awareness is what makes the biggest difference. If this video helped you see something differently, share it with someone close to you, a family member, a friend, someone who may not notice these signs on their own. Sometimes, one piece of information can change how someone takes care of themselves. If you want more simple, practical insights like this, stay connected. There is always something your body is telling you, and the more you understand it, the better you can support it. Take care of yourself, pay attention, and start today.